Hey you guys, Laura here, and today I'm going to be taking you through a hip opening routine, which is really great to use before a running workout, before a leg day workout, or even if you're just looking for a short 5 to 10 minute flow to open up your hips after a long day at work. I've got you covered. If you're new to my page, my name is Laura. I'm a certified Pilates instructor and personal trainer, and every week I bring you fitness tips that you can use to help improve your runs, improve your lifts, and help keep you injury free. If that sounds like something that you are interested in learning more about, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can keep watching videos and learning how to move your body well, efficiently, and make progress towards your goals without injury. Now, for our hip opening routine, we are going to get the blood going a little bit. You won't need any equipment, and we are going to start on our hands and knees. So let's go. I'm going to have you start with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. I want you to round your back into an angry cat, and then I want you to lengthen your spine and drop your belly down into the ground from here. I don't know why I said like. And again, push the floor away from you, round into that angry cat, scooped back, and then drop that belly to the floor. Make that tail look like a happy puppy tail. Even give it a wag if you want to. And we flow again. We're gonna do 8 more of these. You can do this movement to your breath. I like to exhale into that cat back. Inhale into that cow back. And you want to feel like your whole handprint is into the floor here. So I try to get all of my digits, which is a fancy word for fingers, into the floor. And as I round, I really think about trying to lengthen through my lower back. And as I arch my back, I really think about ripping the floor apart sideways to open up my chest, my collarbones. So I get a little bit more upper back activation here. So we're really trying to open and mobilize the back. And if you're like, why are we working through the back if you said this was a hip opener? So your lats connect onto your pelvis. And if those are tight, it can restrict mobility in your pelvis, in your hips. And so that's why we're targeting it. Last one here. And then I want you to find a neutral spine. So it's kind of like we are having a tea party on our back. We want to have it to be nice and flat. And I want you to take one of your legs. It's going to stay at a 90-degree angle. You're going to lift it upwards towards the sky, open it out and around to the side, and then drop it back down to the floor. And again, both hands firmly into the floor, same side leg. We lift up, same 90-degree shape, goes open to the side, and then down underneath you. And again, 3 more times. Lift, open, and then back down. So I'm really trying to stand firmly into the 3 points that I have connected into the floor underneath me. So I try to keep my same tea party table parallel to the ground, so we get to work our core and what's called anti-rotation, as well as opening up the hip here. After those 5, we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to turn around so you can see the leg that's moving. And again, we open into that fire hydrant, pivot it around behind us, and then take it down. Actually, I think I did the other way, didn't I? My bad. We're going to lift it up into that donkey, pivot it around, and then bring it down. So you actually can go both ways, totally okay. And I would recommend you doing both directions for this hip mobility circle. Just for time's sake, we're only going to do one of them. And we're doing about 5 on each side. Last 2. Making sure those whole handprints are like little gecko hands onto the floor. Can you get your palms down more? Last one. And then lower it right back down. From here, we're going to move onto your belly. Drop down onto your belly, and then take your hands, can go either in a letter T position, or they can go in a 90-degree field goal position. The field goal position is definitely going to give you more stretch for your pecs, so that's the front side of your chest, and the longer arms is going to be a little bit more forgiving for people that have tight shoulders. So pick what feels most appropriate to you and your body. I'm going to go with this 90-degree angle. Now I'm looking to the left, which means my left leg will be moving. I'm going to hamstring curl in 90 degrees like we did just moments earlier. And I'm going to stretch the leg over towards the wall behind me across my straight leg for my scorpion tail stretch. And then come back down. turn my head to the right, bend my knee bone, and then stretch the leg over towards the side, and then come back down. So as I'm alternating from side to sides, I'm focusing on keeping my elbows, my arm in the same position. I'm trying to get my 90-degree leg over my body, stretching my quad, my thigh. And it's also going to stretch the front of my front of my hip flexor and into my oblique and my QL as well. We're going to do 10 all together, so 5 each way. Last 2 for me. No need to rush these. You can take your time with them. For me, I really like the feeling of the front of my hip opening, so these are one of my favorites to do. And then we're going to come back up into a half kneeling position this time. So before we were on both knees, now we're only going to go on 2 knees. And I want you to find a 90-degree angle through the front, 90-degree angle from the back, and take my right leg is forward, my left arm is going to go to the outside of my knee. I'm going to go ahead and turn around this way so you guys can see a little bit better. Hand to the outside, hand to hand, and then from here, I'm going to take my hand, right leg. My right hand is going to go open and look behind me and then come right back down. So you can see there's a lot of twisting in this hip opening series, and that's going to be really great for opening up the front side of your body, opening up the hip flexor, opening up your obliques, which can kind of put you into this rounded position. And as well, this back leg here, my left leg, is tucked under, so I do get a quad, a thigh stretch, and a hip flexor stretch as well. One more time. Before we switch over to the next side, I'm going to have you take both hands, one hand to either side of your foot, and I want you to sit back onto your back leg, and then we're going to come forward back into that 90 degree. So now here we get to stretch through the hamstring into the glute and into your lower back. Try to keep your footprint connected to the floor, then you're going to stretch through the top of your foot as well. I've talked about in another video, and that really helps to stretch the ankle as well. Last one here. Ooh, that feels so good in my lower back. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. So now, once again, left foot forward 90 degree, right foot backwards 90 degree. My hand goes across my body. This just helps you with balance. So if you want to, you could have your hands up in the sky parallel, but you just want to make sure that as you twist, you're not twisting your hand with you. So I like how it helps you with your stability and your balance here, and I also like how it's going to keep your opposite shoulder in place so you can really get that rotation through your thoracic spine. Hand to hand. Rotate to the back and then come back in. Here I can tell that my rotation's a little bit more limited, and as I hit a certain point, I can feel that stretch through my belly, and I can also feel it a little bit more in my hip flexor as well. Last 2. Try to keep those hip bones facing forward, headlights forward on the street. Both hands together. Okay, we're gonna go into that hamstring stretch. One hand to either side of your foot, and then imagine that you're gonna sit that booty down onto your foot. Oh, the hamstring's tighter on this side, and then forward. So don't be surprised if you feel it differently in either leg. I know on the other side, I told you it felt like a super yummy stretch on my lower back because my pelvis was tucking under me. It was helping me to stretch my QL, which is a little bit tighter on my right side. But here on my left side, I can really feel it in my hamstring. And why is there a difference? Well, it's going to be different for every person depending on what you tend to do on a day-to-day basis. For me, because I have had surgery on my right hip before, I do have the tendency to hip hike. Something that I'm working on, but it's also something that I just have to be aware of and know that it's there, and know that that hip hike does have the tendency to make that side of my back a little bit tighter. So if you feel the stretch in different places than what I mentioned, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing it incorrectly. If you have a question about it, go ahead and drop it down in the comments below, or you can find me on Instagram and send me a DM and say, hey Laura, I want to problem solve this one stretch that you showed me on your YouTube video, and I would be more than happy to go over it with you. And that's it for your hip opening routine. My hips feel nice, my back feels lovely. Oh my gosh, I feel like I could go for a run right now. So this is gonna be great for helping you to warm up for your run, to help you cool down for your run. And also, like I mentioned, if you are working from home in a desk all day, it's gonna be really great for opening up those hips. And like I mentioned in multiple videos before, when you are tight, it does keep you from accessing the power that your muscles have. So don't skip out on that recovery, don't skip out on those stretches, because if you are serious about your goals, recovery is where it's at. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my page, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can keep getting little flows, little fitness tips just like this. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.